So you've decided to go camping, hiking, expedition, trekking or tramping as they call it in New Zealand. I'm going to run through some of the gear that you should take with you. Let's talk bedding. When we go hiking we want everything to be as light as possible. So over here we've got these. These are a foam mat, closed cell foam mat. They're great for hiking, they're lightweight, they work well, they're really good at insulating you from the cold ground. There's a few other things that you can use as well, like this mat here behind me. This mat's an air-filled mat, so you may want to put something between it to insulate you from the ground. They're really good. They roll up really small compared to these. As do these. These are the foam-filled self-inflating mats. These are a little bit heavier. Sometimes they can be a little bit more comfortable because of the foam inside them. It's up to you what mat that you decide that you want to get and how much that you want to spend on it. Go to a camping shop, ask around and see what the store manager tells you. There's two things that you don't want to take when you're hiking, and one of them is the good old Lilo. They blow up, but they're very heavy to carry, they're very bulky. The other one is a yoga mat. It will look similar to this, but they're made out of a much denser foam and they're very heavy, not good to carry. Once you've got your mat, you need something to sleep in. Now that's going to be a sleeping bag. You want one that's going to keep you warm at night. Now there's two types of sleeping bag. One is a synthetic sleeping bag, one is a down sleeping bag. These are down sleeping bags. Now a down sleeping bag will pack down a lot smaller and a lot tighter using the compression straps like this. The downside with a down sleeping bag is that if it gets wet, it's not going to keep you warm. Whereas a synthetic sleeping bag is going to keep you warm if it gets wet. The chance of you getting wet is very slim. I always hike with the down because they're lighter, they're smaller. Now, I've got a couple of other types down here. You can get this sleeping bag here. This one's a Cedar Summit. This is the one that I use. But you can see at the bottom, it's got the wide foot. They're a little bit heavier, but personally I like the extra room as opposed to the mummy sleeping bag. The mummy sleeping bags, they come in very narrow in the foot like this. They will keep you warmer at night in a cold environment. Up to you how you like to do it. Now, the difference between, say, this sleeping bag and this sleeping bag is its ratings. Now this sleeping bag, this one here is my summer sleeping bag, and you'll notice that it's stored in its stuff sack. The stuff sack is very important to store a down sleeping bag aired out and not compressed like this, because the down will compress over time and the sleeping bag is going to lose its insulation properties. This one here would be a great summer sleeping bag. It compresses down very small and it's very lightweight. I would not want to take this sleeping bag camping in winter. That's why I've got this one. This sleeping bag here is going to do me through any Australian winter. Probably wouldn't want to take it down to the South Pole, might get a bit cold for it. But when you're getting a sleeping bag, make sure you find a sleeping bag that is going to keep you warm for the environment that you are going into. Now you've gone out and you've bought yourself a really nice, good sleeping bag. Now one of the things that you're going to want to do is to look after that sleeping bag, because although you can wash a down sleeping bag, it's fairly hard to do. So you're going to want to get something like this. Now this is a silk liner. This goes down inside your sleeping bag, so that when you've been out hiking or trekking all day long, you're all covered in dirt and sweat, this is going to take all of that dirt and sweat. So when you get home, you take the liner out and you throw it in the washing machine. Now the liners can also add extra warmth to the sleeping bag to keep you warm at night. So it's a really good way to take your sleeping bag and just nudge it that little bit cooler climate. There's numerous types of liners. There's silk ones and different other materials. Get the one that fits into your budget and that you can afford.